Alright, hey guys, welcome back, Project White Fang. It's been a month, I've been real busy, but we determined that the old engine, which we pulled out today, has either spun a bearing or dropped a valve or something, but it's got a wicked knock in it, so we pulled that. What I've done in the meantime is gone back to the pick your parts, picked another engine out of a Lincoln Mark 8. This year is a 94. So it's going to have a little bit inferior head design, but I have no choice. It only had 120K on the OD. As you see, it did come with the valve covers and everything, but I went and took it off. What I want to show you guys is still pretty clean. There doesn't seem to be any, how should I say, burn marks or dried up oil or overheating. Too much wear and tear. The chains themselves look real good. The guides right along here, they got still a lot of depth in them. So the motor spins over very nice. We'll spin it over so we can look at the crank rods. When I spin the crank over, everything seems to have its normal play. Nothing too excessive. Just what it's supposed to. So this motor hopefully will be a lot better than what I put in there. Again, nothing special. But if it can get White Fang on the road, then what I can do, since this is still the tested block, and it's a very strong block, as long as we haven't damaged anything, we'll take it, we'll get it rebuilt, forged internals, start getting ourselves back on the way to a nice proper race car. So, come back over here to the engine bay. I noticed a couple other things, which I had this all painted. I noticed that the master cylinder I had on was leaking, so I'm going to have to repaint parts of the engine bay, and I'm having a lot of burn marks over here. I noticed too that that motor that I had in there was leaking a lot, which is surprisingly because of the way the gaskets are designed on these modular engines. They don't leak. And this motor leaked a lot. So I'm unsure as to why that was occurring. Maybe with the new motor, we'll get it all buttoned up. I'll put some extra silicone, or sealant I should say, in the areas where the faceplate, valve covers, oil pan and all that meet, just to ensure that it doesn't leak. But I've never seen them leak this bad. I mean, this engine leaked all over the place. So we'll correct that issue. I'm going to reshoot this. I got to take some parts off. And I also noticed I caught an article not too long ago in Muscle Mustangs and Fast Forwards. I'm running the Maximum Motorsport full-on new steering column with no rag joint, so it's all needle bearing or U-joint. But they had painted it, took it all apart, so I'm going to do that. While I have this out, I'm going to go ahead and take this off, paint it all black so that it doesn't corrode, put it back in. I got to get a new master cylinder, and I need to get a new clutch. I noticed that this one, it's a factory clutch, but it wasn't giving me the correct pedal feel that I was looking for. So I want to make sure that I correct that. And I'm going to get rid of the steel motor mounts and the steel tranny mount. That was horrendous. So anyone in the future, if you're going to be using polyurethane motor mounts or steel motor mounts on a daily driven car, even though you get a lot more power transferred back to the rear end, I don't recommend it. It's horrendous. There's so much NVH, that's noise, vibration, harshness, coming into the cabin. It was terrible. So I'm going to switch back to factory motor mounts, factory tranny mount, just so I can have a nice easy ride. The manual steering wasn't too bad, nor were the manual brakes. I saw a lot of people online did not like their manual brakes, but I personally, I mean, it's hard to push, but the brakes stop. I mean, if I needed to lock up the tires, no issues doing that. So that wasn't so bad. So for so far, Project White Fang's going about 70% okay. The major setback was this engine, and then some minor setbacks with the leaky master cylinder, and I think the steel motor mounts and the tranny mount. So all in all, it was probably a blessing that the motor went. So now I can go back to factory mounts, correct some other issues. I'm going to do a few things over here just to ensure a little bit longer life out of some of these components when you're spending the kind of money I've spent on this car so far with full-on race suspension, tubular K-member. I mean, everything's been altered. You want to make sure that it can last you. So tires, motor mounts, tranny mounts, drop this motor in. Hopefully this doesn't leak, spin a bearing. I don't know what happened. They normally get a lot of mileage out of these engines, so we'll see what happens, but stay tuned. I'll try to get a little bit more in depth as I'm going through this build. We'll take a look at, I'm thinking about painting my valve covers blue. I think that's going to look pretty good, give the engine bay a little bit more color. And for right now, just really cleaning things up and getting everything organized. But again, I need motor mounts, tranny mount, master cylinder, and to repaint the engine bay and get some things done. So until then, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for staying tuned. Later.